What is going on, Fielder students and parents? This is Blake Anderson, student pastor at Fielder Church. And listen, this is a super important video as we get ready for HouseLife 2022. So if you have opened this video, if you've opened the link, please keep watching it till the end. I know it's probably gonna end up being super long because I'm long-winded and I got a lot to share. So please listen to everything I have. First thing, we are not having a HouseLife parent meeting the Wednesday before HouseLife. In years past, every single Wednesday before HouseLife happens, we have a HouseLife parent meeting. What this is a time for parents to come to hear about HouseLife, hear the schedule, hear the expectations, meet the host home, etc. before HouseLife happens. We are not doing that this year, and there's a couple reasons why. The first and main reason is here at Fielder Church, we've started having these prayer gatherings on Wednesday nights. And I don't want to be, we as a student ministry, we don't want to pull adults away from the prayer gatherings to come to a HouseLife parent meeting. We want you guys, especially the week of HouseLife, as your kids are about to experience all these things that God has for them, we want you guys to attend those prayer gatherings. I don't want to pull you away from that and what God could do in your heart as you pray for your students and for your families by having a HouseLife parent meeting. So this video is meant to act in lieu of a parent meeting. So I have a lot of really important information to share, and I would really love for you to listen to all of it. And then, obviously since we're not in person, we don't have an opportunity to have a Q&A. So I understand that that's a bummer, but what I want to open to you is myself, Joshua, the Grand Prairie campus student pastor, and Wesley, the South Oaks campus student pastor. We are available for your questions. So text us, email us, do what you gotta do. We would love to answer your questions to put you at ease for HouseLife weekend. So let's get into it. We're gonna talk about quite a few things. The big thing is I just wanna give you an overview of HouseLife, especially for those of you who are guests who maybe haven't attended HouseLife before. Listen guys, this is crazy. We have 210 students signed up for HouseLife. 210. That might be more than we've ever had. At least more the most since I've ever been on staff. 210 students signed up for HouseLife. Of those 210, more than 50 are considered guests, people who aren't regular Fielder students, members of Fielder Church. More than 50. It's awesome. So if you are watching this and you as a student are a guest, or as a parent, if your student is a guest, we're so pumped that your students are coming and attending HouseLife this weekend, whether it's with South Oaks, with Grand Prairie, or with the Pioneer campus. We're so excited. And this is going to be a lot of important information. So overview of HouseLife, really what it is if you've ever heard of like a discipleship now weekend, if you grew up Baptist, you probably went to one of those. HouseLife, plain and simple, is a discipleship now weekend, just like 1,000 times better. So like remove all of your expectations about a discipleship now weekend and throw them away, because this is gonna be so much better. But it's a weekend, Friday to Sunday, with your students fully immersed in the things of God, experiencing the character of God through reading and studying God's word in our village groups, through encountering him in worship and the teaching of the gospel, all of these things, through encountering God through fun, through activities, through creative elements. It's gonna be a great time. And then encountering God through service as we serve the city on Sundays, serving our city on the backside after having just been immersed in the things of God, immersed in the gospel, then choosing to be sent to live out what we've learned. And so it's gonna be a really great weekend. So I wanna run you through a couple of things. I'll let you know in the email or in the text message that you're receiving the link to this video in, you're also going to find a document of the schedule. This is for you to have, for you to look over. You'll see a schedule. You will also, and it will look something like this. I'm gonna walk us through it. You'll also see in the email a packing list. These are the things to bring, things not to bring, what to have, etc. It will look something like this. Now, this is last year's packing list. A lot of it will be the same, but you'll have an updated one. And then another thing you're gonna see is a file called a time away form. So I'll cover this when we get there. It's gonna look like this. But this is a form that you need, that if any point during the weekend your student needs to leave and come back, you have to submit a time away form. You have to, it's required. So you'll have this available to you, you can fill it out. You need to turn that in. We'll get there. I'll cover the time away forms when we get there, okay? So let me not get ahead of myself. The first thing, I wanna go over the schedule. So the best way for you to watch this video is to open up the schedule in the text or in the email that I sent you and go through it as I talk through it. So first thing, schedule. You will drop your student off at 6:30, okay? At 6:30, you will come. There will be tables for check-in. You will check your student in. They will go to their assigned classroom. In this classroom, there will be a sheet of paper that says their groups, the names of students in their group, who their host home is, and who their leader is. They will drop their stuff in that room by that sign. So you'll check them in, they'll take their stuff. Once it's dropped off, hopefully, almost all of our host homes will have one, and their leaders will have a representative from their group in that room. So a host home parent and a leader will be there ready to meet you, to greet you, to introduce themselves if you don't know them, so that you can know who your student is staying with for the weekend. After they drop that stuff off, they will come into the large worship room where everyone will be meeting, and we'll get started. So check in, get their stuff, take it to their assigned room, drop it off, meet the host home, meet the leader, head into the large room. So that's what happens at 6:30. 7 o'clock, we have our first worship session. After our first worship session, we have our first group session. So in their village groups, they will meet at the student building in those assigned rooms for their first small group worship session. And then also on Friday night, you see on the schedule 9:50 to 10:45. In years past, we've had what we've called a Flashback Friday dance. We are not certain yet exactly what we'll be doing during that time. We will be doing some sort of HouseLife party. We're not exactly certain of exactly what that's going to look like, but you can be ensured that it's going to be awesome. It's going to be full of energy, full of fun and excitement. It's going to be awesome. So we'll have that after party on Friday night at the student building. After that, around 10:50 or 11 o'clock, head back to host homes, get coordinated where they're sleeping, shower, clean up, and then hang out and go to bed. And need to go to bed. It says 12:30, lights out. That's true. You're like, host homes and leaders are gonna turn lights out. You need to be like going to sleep because you have a long day of awesome stuff on Saturday and we don't want you to be asleep for it. Saturday, let's run through this pretty quick. 8 to 8:30, breakfast provided by host homes. 8:30, each student will have a quiet time to read 2 Corinthians chapter 4 together. From 9 to 10, they will have their second group time, village group time in the home. 10 to 10:45 is just some time to get ready, to shower, some free time to chill and hang out. 10:45, everyone will head to the student building and we will get started with our second worship session, first one of the day on Saturday at 11:15 until 12:30 at the student building. After that, we'll eat Chick-fil-A for lunch. And I just want to make a quick note. If your student has any dietary restrictions that will keep them from eating Chick-fil-A or from eating pizza on Saturday, then you are responsible, parents, for providing your child with food to eat on Saturday for lunch and for dinner. I know that may not be what's preferred, but it's incredibly difficult to make accommodations for when we're ordering food for 300 something people. It's incredibly difficult to make accommodations for individuals with certain dietary restrictions, ordering from different locations, things like that. So if your student has, what I'm not saying is if they don't like Chick-fil-A and they don't like pizza, bring them food. They can eat Chick-fil-A and they can eat pizza. What I'm saying is if their diet means they cannot eat Chick-fil-A and cannot eat pizza, then you are responsible for getting food up to them for lunch and for dinner. After lunch, we'll give some instructions about our rec time. 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, We'll have our rec time activities. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing some things a little bit different this year than we did for HouseLife last year or for One Way Home. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. After those rec times, they'll head back to the host homes, and they'll have quite a bit of time at the host home. This time is to be used for their third group time, their third village group time. It's also to be used for some free time and even some time to shower. Junior high boys, shower, okay? You'll be nasty, I need you to shower. Head back to the student building at 5:45. We'll eat dinner at the student building at 6. After that, we'll have a worship session. And then this is something that's a little different. If you've been a part of a house life before, then you know what a say-so is. Typically, a say-so happens on Sunday morning, and it's an opportunity for us as a student ministry to testify. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, to testify to all that the Lord has done in the lives of these students this weekend, for them to come and say, I made Jesus the Lord of my life, or the Lord's calling me into ministry, or the Lord reconciled me and this friend. Getting to just for us to experience and be encouraged by the testimony of what the Lord did. But we are going to do the say-so on Saturday night after the worship session in the student building. I'm expecting the Lord to do some really cool things. And the reason being is on Sunday morning, we're not going to be able to do the say-so because we're participating in Serve the City with the entire church. But I'll get there when we get to Sunday. So the say-so after the worship session, head back to the host home whenever we're done, have their last group time, and then they'll need to pack up, they'll need to get their things together, and then some free time and go to bed, because in the morning, from 7 to 8 o'clock, it's early. They're waking up, they're cleaning their host home, eating breakfast, and then leaving it at 8 o'clock to come to the student building to drop their stuff off in those rooms that they originally dropped their stuff off on Friday. Leaving their stuff at the student building, and then at 8:30, heading to the Levitt Pavilion in downtown Arlington, where our whole church is meeting for Serve the City, where your students will be participating in Serve the City with their village groups. And so if you'd like to participate in Serve the City, come, please come. We will find you a place to serve within the church, but your students will be serving at Serve the City within their village groups from HouseLife for that weekend. So head to the Levitt Pavilion 8:30. The baptism celebration and the worship service at the Levitt Pavilion will start at 9. I really encourage you guys to come. Even if maybe you're not a Fielder member and you're not ready to participate in Serve the City, come for that service at 9 o'clock. I'm praying and believing that the Lord is going to bring people to faith in Christ Jesus over this weekend. And so we're going to have students to baptize. And I want you to be ready to witness that and to celebrate their testimony of their faith. So come to that at 9 o'clock. Your students will be there. And then we will go to Serve the City locations. And then we will have a pretty hard cutoff. Something that happened last year is just because we didn't communicate super well, we had people at different Serve the City locations coming back from those locations at different times, which left us at the student building waiting for people to come get picked up. It left parents waiting. It left stuff at the student building that needed to be picked up. So we will have a hard cut that groups will be back to the student building by 12:30, no later than 12:30. So parents, you can plan to arrive by then to pick up your students. If for some reason groups return earlier than that, we'll be sure to communicate with you. But groups will arrive no later to the student building than 12:30 on Sunday for parents to pick them up. So that is a quick run through of the schedule. Let me see what I had next. Packing list. Okay, packing list. And really these are the two biggest things. Schedule and packing list. So packing list, pull it up if you have it, either in the text or the email that you received this link in. Packing list. Things to bring. Clothes for Saturday. Obviously, you'll come dressed on Friday, ready to go. So you don't need to bring clothes for Friday. You'll come dressed for Friday. Clothes for Saturday. All right? Bring clothes for Saturday. Honestly, bring 2 pairs of clothes. Especially if you're a dude, good chance you're going to get nasty and sweaty and gross. We don't want to smell you nasty and sweaty and gross after you've been nasty and sweaty and gross. So honestly, 2 pairs of clothes for Saturday. And then Sunday, we'll be participating in Serve the City. Going out to with Mission Arlington. You will receive a HouseLife t-shirt on for Sunday morning that you'll wear to serve the city. But then I would encourage you, weather depending, wear boys wear like shorts or jeans. I would encourage you not to wear sweatpants. We're going to be likely going to these Mission Arlington apartments and meeting people. I would encourage you not to wear sweatpants. I don't want you to look like you're in your pajamas. Girls, same goes for you. I would encourage you not to wear sweatpants, no leggings for that Sunday morning for Serve the City. I would encourage you wear jeans, wear a skirt, wear appropriately length shorts if the weather allows. But no, let's not look like we're about to play dodgeball or we're about to go to sleep. So dress appropriately for Serve the City. Clothes to sleep in. Bring enough clothes to sleep in. Toiletries. So the host home will not be providing toiletries. It's not a hotel. Bring shampoo. Bring body wash. Bring the things that you need to make yourself clean. Toothbrush, toothpaste, all the toiletry things. Sleeping bag. Students, you will not be sleeping in a bed. No students will be sleeping in any beds. Beds will be reserved for leaders and for host home parents. No beds whatsoever. Not allowed. This means, for the weekend, you'll be sleeping on the ground. If your host home has couches in the rooms that you're sharing, first come, first serve, I guess, you can sleep on the couch. But you will not be sleeping in any beds. You will need a sleeping bag. If you don't have a sleeping bag, pack like 2 blankets, one to put on the ground and one to have over you, and bring a pillow, okay? That's the deal. You can do it for 2 nights. Everyone else will be too. Bring a towel, okay? The host home will not provide, they'll have towels, but they won't have provided enough towels for every single one of you to use once or twice if you shower. Bring a towel. Bible. Please bring a Bible. This is HouseLife. You'll be studying from God's Word multiple times, constantly throughout the weekend. Bring a Bible. Please, please, please. You won't have your phones, and we won't have enough Bibles to give everyone. Bring a Bible. Bring a pen, because you also want to bring a notebook or a journal. There will be times for you to write down and to journal things about what you're learning, about what you're reading in God's Word, what you're discovering. So Bible, pen, journal. Bring them, okay? Bring a snack, and bring a snack to share. Bring a snack to share. The host homes will likely, if they're generous, will likely have some snacks. We haven't told them they're required to provide snacks. They are required to provide breakfast on Saturday and Sunday. That's it. Bring snacks to share. Bring a pack of Oreos. Bring a pack of Gatorades to share with your group. Okay? Bring some snacks. Things not to bring. Okay? This is even maybe more important than some of the things to bring. Things not to bring. Your phone. You don't need your phone. Okay? You don't need your phone. Same as camp. You don't need it. So better yet, just don't bring it. Because if you do bring it, your leaders and your host homes are going to take them up. No exceptions. Okay? No exceptions. Parents, I would encourage you, just take your kid's phone up before they come. Please. It will serve them and it will serve us. Don't let them come with their phones. They don't need it. If you're picking up your student to go to a baseball game or to go to something like that, like they've filled out a time away form, you will have the contact information of their leaders and of the host home and the address for the host home as needed. You will do all contact with them to prepare to pick up your child. You will not do that contact with your student because they won't have their phone. No phones. We want your students to be immersed in the things of God, distraction-free, and all that phones can do during this weekend is be a distraction. Don't want you to be distracted. So don't try it. Don't turn in a phone and have a fake. Don't turn in a fake phone and have your real phone. Don't try it. It's not worth it. We'll find you, okay? And it will have lessened like the weekend that you're going to experience. Don't bring a phone. Or if you bring it, be honest and prepared to give it up. Okay? Deal? Sweet. Great. You can't reply because you're a video and not a crowd. iPod, iPad, laptop. No technology. You don't need it. You're not going to use it. If you bring it and you say, well, I have to do it for this, we're just going to say no. You will not have it. Headphones. Since you have no phone and no iPod and no laptop, headphones won't do you any good. And if you decide to put your headphones in, we'll know that you're using a phone or an iPad or a laptop. Don't bring them. You don't need them. You'll lose your AirPods. Don't bring them. Video gaming system. Don't bring an Xbox. Don't bring a PC. Don't bring a Nintendo Switch that you put in your backpack. Don't bring a DS. I don't even know if they make those anymore. Game Boy Advance. Don't bring them. You won't play them. You won't use them. If we find them, we're going to take them up and give them back to you on Sunday. Don't bring them. Materials for pranks. No pranking. Host homes, leaders, students, parents. No pranking. No going and rolling somebody's house. Nothing that is illegal. And also nothing that is legal but is still considered a prank. Don't bring anything for pranks. You will have plenty of fun. You don't need to replace that fun with stuff that is illegal and inappropriate that you think is fun. It won't be fun, especially because it won't be fun for you when we find out that you did it and we're having to have a conversation about it. Don't plan any pranks. We don't need to prank anyone for fun. We'll have enough fun for us all, okay? Last thing, drugs, alcohol, things to smoke, weapons, anything illegal or obvious not to bring to a field or student event. Don't bring it, okay? No weed, don't bring it in any form, okay? In the obvious ones or the not obvious ones, don't bring it, okay? Whether it's a vape, whether it's a blunt or a joint, whether it's cookies or brownies, don't bring it. Don't even think about it. If you do think about it, think again, and then choose not to bring it. Because if you bring it, we're gonna find out, and we find out every single time. Don't. Please don't. Alcohol, don't bring it. Parents, check your students' bags. Don't bring it. Vapes, whether it has weed or not, if it's even just a nicotine vape, don't bring it. It will be confiscated and thrown in the trash or stomped on. Something obnoxiously aggressive to prove a point. Don't bring it, please. You don't need it, please. And if you're under 18, you're not even legally allowed to have it anyways. Don't bring them. Weapons, no knives, pocket knives. Don't bring them. You don't need it. You'll have no use for it. No guns, by gosh, please. Nothing like that. You don't need it. Nothing else illegal or obvious not to bring, okay? So, things to bring, things not to bring, those are important. Please follow those. Note, eat dinner on Friday night before you arrive. We're not providing you dinner on Friday. Eat before you come, okay? Eat before you come. Next thing, no cars. Students, if you have your driver's license, you will not be driving your car all weekend. No cars. Which means I would encourage you, don't even drive it to the student building on Friday. Have your parents drop you off. No cars. If you have a time away form and you're a student who can drive, you are not allowed to drive yourself away from HouseLife. I know that may seem silly, but if you're a junior in high school and you have a baseball game that you have to go to on Saturday, you will not be allowed to drive yourself away from the student building. Your parents will have to come and pick you up, okay? No cars at all the entire weekend. You won't drive them to host home, you won't drive them to the student building, you won't drive them time away, no cars. Parents, that's for you to know too. Your students who can drive will not drive their cars all weekend. If they bring them to the student building on Friday, they will remain parked there Friday from 6:30 until Sunday at 12:30. I don't think you want their car leaving there, like staying there for two nights. They don't need them. No cars, okay? Okay, let's talk about time away forms. A time away form is gonna look like this. This is like a double of one that's printed on. So it will look like this. Parents and students, if your student at any point has to leave and return for HouseLife, you must fill out and turn in a time away card for the times that they will be gone from HouseLife. You have to turn this in at the time of check-in when they arrive on a Friday night. This has to be turned in. If a student on Saturday comes and tells me, hey, I have to leave for this at noon and I'll be back at 2, if their group leader and host home do not have a time away card, I will not let them leave. Now, you may call me and say, hey Blake, my student has to leave from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Can I come pick them up? I'm gonna check to see if I have a time away card. Now, I can't legally hold your student hostage from you coming to pick them up, okay? So I'm not going to retain them from your presence. If you say, hey, I have to pick them up at noon, they'll be back at 2. But it is vital for our knowledge and for your students' safety that at all times we know where they are if they are not with us. Please help us keep your students safe. Help us be organized. If your student has to leave and return at any point during HouseLife, please fill out a time away card and give that to us when you drop your student off on Friday. If you don't print it and fill it out and bring it, we'll have some at the student building for you to fill out and give to us, but this has to be done. Has to be done. I can't reiterate it enough. Please give this to us so that we can give to the leaders and the host homes. Okay, drop off on Friday night, 6:30, it starts. That's check-in time. Remember, like I said, you'll come, you'll check in, okay? You will check your student in. They will get checked in, and then you will receive, parent, an info card. You'll receive an info card for your student. It will have your student's name on it, their grade. It will have the names and cell phone numbers of the host home. It will have the names and cell phone numbers of the leaders, and it will have the address for the host home. This is for you to have, for you to feel comfortable knowing, I know where my student is. They're either at the student building or they're at the host home. I know the contact information of the people that have my student. This is for you to have, for you to keep. You'll receive an info card at check-in when you drop them off on Friday, and then they'll go take their stuff to their designated room, meet the leader, meet the host home. Parents, you leave, you take the students' phones with you, and then they go and HouseLife begins, and we have an incredible weekend. That's check-in. Pick up on Sunday after Serve the City. Like I said, groups are gonna show up back to the student building no later than 12:30. If they show up earlier, we'll be sure to communicate to you. Parents, I would encourage you, plan to arrive at the student building between 12:15 and 12:30, okay? Be there when your student gets there. It will really serve us so that we're not waiting for 2 or 3 students to be picked up. Please plan to pick your student up between 12:15 and 12:30 on Sunday. Their stuff will be there for them when they return from Serve the City. They'll pick it up, they'll get in their car, they'll go home and they'll sleep for 5 hours, and then they'll be up all night because they just took a 5-hour nap on a Sunday, okay? Please be prepared to do that on Sunday. Expectations for the weekend. Okay, we've already talked about some of these things, but I want to just reiterate them. And parents, this is for you to hear because these are the expectations I'm holding your students to, and I hope you would hold them to the same expectations. And students, this is for you because this is the expectations I'm holding you to. Your student pastors, Wesley, Joshua, who they're not in this video because they're busy working on other things for HouseLife to get ready for the weekend. These are their expectations of you. Okay? Your host homes, your leaders, these are their expectations of you. Okay, so let me just share a little bit. Let me reiterate. There is no room for pranks. Okay? You will not prank someone individually. That's bullying. Not gonna deal with it. If it happens and we need to send you home, we will. At the detriment of somebody else's weekend, we're not gonna deal with it. Don't do it. Treat somebody the way you'd want to be treated. If you see someone not being included in your group things, include them. Make them feel like they belong, right? Make students sin ready by helping them and their friends belong, believe, and become like Jesus. We can't allow ourselves to believe and become like Jesus if we don't first belong. Make your friends that you're with belong. No bullying, no pranks, okay? Not gonna deal with it. I don't want the drama. Girls or guys, girls, like you may be in groups with people that you're close friends with, and you may be in groups with people that maybe they're not your best friend, and maybe in the past there has been for some reason some drama. I'm asking that the Lord would reconcile that this weekend. Because what that is the enemy trying to distract us from all the things that the Lord wants to do and accomplish in your hearts. And we're going to miss out on what God wants to do if we're dealing with drama. Don't bring it with you. Leave it at the door. Be ready to come in and forgive. Be ready to come in and give patience and peace and kindness to the people in your group. No drama. None. Not going to deal with it. Phones, again, don't bring it. Have some integrity. It's more important than 2 days with your phone. Your integrity and the things that you're going to encounter without your phone is more. You can do it. You can go like 60 hours without your phone. You can do it. If you've come to camp, you've done 5 days. You can do 60 hours. I promise. It will be worth it. Don't bring it. I don't want to find out you have it, and I don't want your leaders to be put in an awkward position to have to take it. Don't bring it. Don't let them find out you have it. And that doesn't mean be secretive. Don't bring it, okay? And if you do, be honest about having it and turn them in when your leaders and host homes ask for it. All right? Another thing, guys, listen. These people hosting you in their homes, they're volunteers. They willingly opened their home to you. Treat it like your own. And maybe you realize, well, I don't really treat my parents' home very well. 1, start to honor your parents. But 2, you will leave this home in better condition than when you arrived. I want these host homes to decide that they were blessed after this weekend and are willing and wanting to serve again as a host home. That's up to you. Please keep it clean, keep it tidy. If they have instructions and rules for you, you will follow them. Okay? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You will follow them. They are your authority and you will honor them. Your leaders, honor them. A lot of these college students, young adults have come, some from other states, to give up their weekend, not being paid, to come and do this with you. Honor them. They want to be here with you. Give them a reason to want to be here. When they're talking, if you're in village group time, listen, honor them. Those are our expectations for you. Meet them. And I promise if you handle these expectations, you will have a blessed week. This isn't to hinder fun. This is to ensure that the fun you have is God honoring and that you glean everything that you possibly can from all that God has for you to experience this weekend. Don't miss out because you decided to do something dumb. Okay? It's going to be a great weekend. Please, please, please follow these expectations. Honor you as a student are a representative of your parents. Represent your parents well. You as a student are a representative of Fielder Church. Represent Fielder Church well. You as a student are a representative of the Lord. Represent the Lord well. You as a student are a representative of yourself. Represent yourself well. Okay? Host homes. Your students will find out who their host home is and who the people are in their group on Friday when they arrive. I know in the past we've announced host homes on Wednesday nights at a parent meeting. We're not having one. And I'm not going to read off host homes in this video, but I promise we've prayed over these groups. We trust these are the groups that are meant to be in the places that they're meant to be. So it will be great. Students, don't stress. We're looking out for you. It's going to be a great weekend. We'll have security on site for the weekend so you can ensure your students will be safe. Students, you will go nowhere alone. You will be nowhere with an adult by yourself. So for leaders and for host homes, if a student wants to have a conversation with you, you find an open space where someone else is to have that public conversation. Nothing happens in private. This protects our students, this protects our leaders, protects our host homes. Nothing happens in private. Students, at the student building or at the host home, you will not be in any room with one other person by yourself, whether they're your same gender or you're not. You won't be in a classroom by yourself. At the host home, you won't be in a bedroom by yourself. There's no reason to be in the bedrooms. If the only reason you're in the bedrooms is for extra space for sleeping, it will be on the floor. And there will be at least 3 people in that bedroom sleeping on the floor, and the door will be open. Okay? This is so that we can keep everyone ministry safe. Students, leaders, parents, host homes, everyone involved. Keep yourself safe. Please follow these expectations. Sound good? All right, guys, listen, it's going to be an incredible weekend. I'm so anxiously anticipating all the things that the Lord is going to do. It's going to be awesome. And parents, students, I hope you're praying. I hope you're asking the Lord to do big and mighty things in the lives of your students. There's 210 students coming. So on this video on YouTube, I want there to be at least 210 views. Actually, I want there to be 420 views, because every single student watched the video, and one parent of each of those students watched the video to know all that's going on. Please watch this video, and it's going to be a great weekend. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. It's going to be awesome. We can't wait to see you on Friday night. See you then, Fielder students. Peace on you.